Now, Donald Trump has demanded to meet the anonymous whistleblower whose complaint kick-started the impeachment inquiry. The person is currently under federal protection out of fear for his or her safety. That's according to CBS News. In a series of tweets, the US president also called for Adam Schiff, the House Intelligence Committee chairman, to be questioned for treason. Joining us now from London is our Bloomberg US government reporter, Kathleen Hunter. Kathleen, it's a pretty spectacular story. What is the latest from the Democrats, first of all? Let's start there.
Well, I think what we saw over the weekend was Nancy Pelosi really trying to sort of consolidate support among her members for the steps that the Democrats decided last week to take on impeachment. I think that the political stakes are obviously sky high here, and Trump is going all out to try to make this look like it's a political witch hunt. And Pelosi is really trying to counter that and get all of her members singing on the same sheet of music when it comes to that. She's trying to talk about how this is really the need for how the Democrats have a constitutional responsibility, and that this is about national security and protecting the Constitution and not about politics. And so I think where that message is most targeted towards are her members that Trump actually called out himself in one of his many tweets this weekend, who ran and won in 2018 in districts that Trump won in 2016. And so I think that those folks who won in the midterm elections in Trump districts are going to be the most sensitive to the poll numbers and where those end up, and the most sensitive to potentially any kind of signs of a political backlash here.
Well, Kathleen, even if we begin impeachment proceedings against the president, the likelihood of impeachment is high or low, or what should we look at in terms of our riskometer for that?
Well, I think the important thing to remember is that as long as the Senate is controlled by Republicans, and the fact that it takes a supermajority support in the Senate to remove the president from office, the likelihood of that happening is pretty unlikely. And so I think that what you should watch, though, are the polls that we're getting. We've already seen some movement in the polls in terms of overall public support for impeachment has gone up. I think what we should be looking for specifically, though, is support among independent and Republican voters. If that number starts to move, if the needle starts to move on that, then I think what we're likely to see is Republican senators that pretty much so far have, if not stuck with Trump, at least been unwilling to say that he should be impeached. We might start to see some movement on that if the poll numbers start moving. But so far, there really isn't an indication of that, and Trump is still employing his 2016, 2018 playbook, which is to appeal to his base and try to keep the support among the base very, very strong.